Star Citizen has a murder hobo problem. Yep, most MMOs have these problems.
Hello citizens and welcome back. In today's video, I want to take a look at the murder hobo problem in Star Citizen, why it happened, and what can CAG do about it. Murder hobos are a problem in pretty much every game that allows combat, and different games handle it differently. Star Citizen is missing a lot of these mechanics and seeing a lot of these problems. But what can CAG do now and in the future to help? As always, if you like this video, sacrifice a like and a comment to the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more. And here's a shout out to our amazing patrons and channel members for their support of the channel and everything else I do. First of all, I should define what I mean by murder hobo.
What's going on, DY?
Especially in the context of Star Citizen.
On Patreon, bro.
I believe the term originated in tabletop role-playing games, but it very much applies to video games as well. A murder hobo is a player that uses combat and violence as their main approach to solving problems.
And I'm going to say this. I do not like murder hobos. Let me just get this out there. These are people that are just blatantly going after you to like fuck your day up and making your day a living hell. There's no PvP kind of like etiquette in a murder hobo whatsoever. And some people actually on the last video we watched from Ark, who's a friend of the channel, were saying that all Ark is doing is being a murder hobo. But I will say the exception to the rule with Ark is that you're in Pyro and it's a system where PvP is everywhere and you're going to have to deal with it. So that is what I have to say to people that were just ripping on Ark and saying, oh, Ark's a murder hobo, Ark's a terrible person, blah, 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 blah. Please understand the dynamics of what's happening here. Pyro is a lawless system where anything and everything goes, people. That is the way that the game is constructed. That is the way that the game is designed. People might not like that, but that is the way that the game is designed and should be. It is a lawless-based system. Therefore, watch out. It's chaotic, okay? When in a lawful-based system, then, and only then, would I say that Ark was doing some pretty crazy shit. Now, I've seen Ark do some pretty crazy shit. Ark has a lot of adrenaline in his defense. He's got to get it out somehow.
Problems. They will often attack players and NPCs instead of diplomacy or stealth or any other non-combat approach. They will ignore most of the narrative elements in favor of combat. They do this for no gain besides the personal pleasure from creating chaos. In Star Citizen, this would apply to people who randomly bomb outposts or...
And as Java B is stating that murder hobos could also be menopausal women tired of everyone's shit. They would have carte blanche right to be murder hobos in those moments, okay? And I also think, Java B, that there should be some type of like check mark next to your name in like a very angry crimson, like in those particular times where you could just check mark yourself. And just so people understood that you were in murder hobo mode. In fact, now when Christy is in her mode, I'm going to call it murder hobo mode. Thank you so much, Java B. I'm literally going to be like, are you in murder hobo mode? Because I'm just, you know, I'm backing off.
Ram you while you're landed or camp bunker entrances and take out people
I'm
who
gonna
come
use
in
that
for
real life.
missions.
Thank you, Java.
Now, I know what about half of you are going to say. It's the PvPers, they're ruining the game. And that's the wrong way to look at it. Not every player who does PvP is a murder hobo, and actually not every murder hobo does PvP. Some of them just kill all the NPCs at a location and run away when a player shows up. So why is this a problem in Star Citizen? Well, simply put, there are no consequences to being a murder hobo. I mean, there is the crime stat system in lawful areas, but according to many players, the prison system is not an effective deterrent. We also have defenses and armistice zones around certain locations, but not every location has one or the other, and they are not always effective. An armistice zone also doesn't prevent ramming, and station armistice zones still allow the use of ship weapons. At the same time, measures like hard armistice zones limit player freedom, which is one of the main selling points of Star Citizen and many other MMOs. Now, how big of a problem is it? Well, depends on where you are and who you ask. In my observations, in Stanton this is pretty rare and limited to one location at a time. And generally it's difficult to discern between a murder hobo and a person shooting first and asking questions later because they are there to do something and don't want you to interfere. Then again, the latter usually try to communicate with you first. Now, in Pyro, the situation...
This will be taken care of in the future. In lawful systems. And the way that they're going to react to this is pretty much an insta-death with NPC just descending upon you from everywhere, just coming in and like instantly. You'll be insta-popped. Like, it'll happen. It's just not ready yet. I think that's what people don't get, is the security system isn't anywhere close to being where it needs to be. And every time I hear arguments about this, I think to myself, like, come on, people, you guys are smart enough to realize that security is nowhere where it's supposed to be yet. I am going to tell you 110% by the time the game is finished, by the time the persistent universe is finished, that in lawful based systems, that anybody that does this type of thing is going to be like insta-pop by units all over the fucking place. They're going to make the fucking security just come in and fucking smash you to the point where people won't care. Like, they'll just be like, oh, fuck this shit. I'll just get insta-pop the second I start to do this shit. Now, in lawless systems, this is just the way of the world. This is just the way things are going to go, you know? Right. Like GTA crime stats. Right. Exactly, Fingers. They got to make them effective, efficient, and this will not... Listen, I'm done with this video, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the game's not finished yet, and this is exactly what's going to happen. I'm calling it right now. Listen, you got to listen to me, people. I've called so many things in the in the whole project. I have called things right with a very high success rate. That is why they call me the Banana Fountain.
Banana Fountain.
I'm telling you right now, that's the way that it's going to be. And no, I